Hey guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to cover a topic today that's super important to me and my friend Dror. But first, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Chad May. You may have seen me on Twitter. My Twitter account is listed there below, Chad Money Matter. And my kind of claim to fame is I'm just an average Joe. I'm just an average guy with a very average salary, but doing some exceptional things with that. We tend to save roughly about 40% of our income. We live debt free, and we are pursuing financial independence. And my friend Dror here is doing something similar as well.
Hey, I'm Jor Barron. I'm a professor, and many years ago, I really derived some of the math underlying some of the financial independence ideas. And some of the examples that are going to appear in our video are based on things that I worked on in the past. And I've been pursuing it for quite a while by now. So with that, we can start the video. What's financial independence? So many of you watching are going to retire at some point, and presumably quite a few of you want to retire early, which is abbreviated by RE. And to do so, you need to be financially independent, which is abbreviated by FI. And we argue that your chances of early retirement are greatly increased when you're saving at least 10% of your income. So if you're saving, let's say 5%, you're cutting things close, because if you have, let's say, a medical problem or a car accident, you're really one oops away from getting wiped out. So first of all, if you aren't saving 10%, definitely keep watching the video, but that should be your focus first.
So you're watching the video and you're really wondering, how long is this going to take? So what we're actually going to do is go over some variables in the next examples here across these slides. But there's a link to our YouTube video down below where we're actually going to show you a lot more in detail, in-depth analysis on this. So definitely check that out as well.
So many Americans are saving roughly 10% of their income for retirement, and we'll work through some details in example number 1, which is coming up. But as you'll see, such a person will need more than 40 years to reach financial independence.
So how can you reach FI or financial independence more quickly? Obviously, you can save more money. You can increase that number that you save per month. And you do that by focusing on increasing your income or decreasing your spending, or doing both. You can also luck into getting that lump sum, whether it be an inheritance, it could be many other things, but you get that lump sum and you're able to invest the majority of that and increase that way. You can also pursue higher returns. With that higher return is obviously going to incur more risk, and we're going to go over that later as well.
Our first example involves Alice. She's saving and investing 10% of her income. And you may kind of stop for a moment and ask, what is 10% for you? If you're living in a low cost of living area, maybe you're earning $30,000 a year, and 10% would mean that you're saving $3,000 a year. On the other hand, maybe you're living in a high cost of living big city, you're earning much more, $300,000 a year. But for you, 10% would be saving and investing $30,000 a year. So Alice's investments are growing 5% per year. And some of you may think, well, 5% is insignificant. I've been making 20% most years. This is 5% above and beyond inflation. And it turns out that in the long run, the stock market beats inflation by 6-7% a year. So 5% is within reason. And with these numbers, it'll take Alice 47 years to reach financial independence.
So I've got a friend, and his name's Bob. Bob has 5 years of income saved up, whether that would be, from earning $60,000 a year and, saving all of it, or his uncle Charlie leaving him a large lump sum, whatever the scenario is. Bob has started with a large number to invest. Everything else in the example is the exact same. He saves and invests 10% of his incomes, and his investments grow 5% per year. So with that head start, Bob is going to decrease his time all the way down to 21 and a half years to reach financial independence.
So I have a friend, Dave, that he doesn't want to work for 47 years like Alice, but he doesn't have a friendly uncle. So what he's doing instead, he uses risky investments, and he's making 12% per year. again, this is 12% above inflation, so this is quite nice. Now, just like Alice, Dave is saving and investing 10% of his income, and it'll only take him 20 years to reach financial independence.
So here an example for Dave's friend Eve is just really risk adverse. She's already lost a large portion of her savings in crypto, and she's going to go much more conservative. Eve's investments are going to grow at 5% per year, just like Alice. But Eve is going to focus on saving a higher percentage. So you can see as your income goes up and you're able to increase your income, the time it takes you to reach financial independence is drastically reduced. Eve will be there at 24.5 years.
So part of our message here is, what can you really control? Alice's 10% savings and 5% growth are fairly typical, but you probably don't want to wait 47 years, else you wouldn't be watching our video. You could be like Eve and save a lot, but if you're right now saving, let's say 10%, saving 30%, that's not going to happen overnight. So maybe you can take baby steps. Maybe you can increase your savings by 2-3% per year. And I guarantee you that in 5-6 years, you'll feel pretty good about that decision. Now, maybe you can reach a lump sum quickly. You don't need a rich uncle. You could maybe work in a high-paying industry for 3-4 years, or maybe you could get a second job for a few years. Higher returns are always an option, but make sure not to take on too much risk. So thanks a lot for your attention. Again, the numbers here, the examples here are based on another video that contains the math analysis. And if you liked our video, please like it. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.